So 2 years ago, I was a server at a restaurant in my like local town, and I remember this so well. But at the end, if you're a server or you're a bartender, like you know that at the end of your shift, you have to roll silverware. Maybe if that's your business or whatever. So anyway, I was rolling the silverware, and the whole time I'm upset. I'm like, fuck this, I don't want to be here, and I'm like bitching and complaining the whole time. And then I remember on this particular day I'm thinking of that, like right as I was about to clock out, this girl came out of the kitchen and was like, I know you're not about to leave me with all this silverware. And I got even more mad. And I just let that fester up and fester up and then continue to get emotional about stupid shit. And so that's what I want to talk about today is getting emotional about stupid shit and why, as you saw from the title of the video, that's the worst kind of person to be around. So if you don't know me, my name is Steven. I make this channel for entrepreneurs and like-minded individuals to grow their company, to grow their self-brand, and to better themselves. If you like this stuff, click the subscribe button because I post videos like this every single day. So if you want like some dopamine edits and like all this crap where it like sounds good, there's music. That's not what we're here for. We're here to learn. So if you need that stuff, go to TikTok because that's not what we're here for. And McDonald's is always hiring. So I mentioned this in another video and it got a lot of views. It was like 3 types of people I avoid. And I had a comment about this type of person in the description. I feel like I didn't do a good enough job delineating this type of person. And so I'm going to go more into detail. And that is, wait, ready? Brokies. I absolutely love this word. And I'm sure you probably heard this is like coined from like the Tate brothers. This has nothing to do with money. Absolutely at all. This term right here has nothing to do with money. Okay. This has everything to do with mindset. All right. And that's why I was talking about emotional people. Okay. And I think that's what this viewer, when we had this discussion like a month ago, didn't understand. And so I want to put more effort into explaining it. And so the biggest thing here that you can prescribe to a broke person is scarcity. And this is a mindset thing, right? Scarcity mindset. See, a broke person in the mind will take any opportunity to look down on what's going on in their surroundings, what's going on in their life. It's rainy outside, so henceforth I'm in a bad mood. I have to roll silverware, so I'm not in a good mood. I didn't sleep long enough. I'm not in a good mood. And so I think it's one of the main things, like really honestly, the reason I make this video is to help you not be this kind of person. And one of the main things you can tell if you are this kind of person is labels. So if you label yourself, or if anyone labels you, the person that labels you is probably a brokey, and you're also probably a brokey if you label yourself. And so let me explain that, right? So you say something like, I'm not a morning person. That is a label. You have labeled yourself as not a morning person. I got this philosophy from Alex Ramosi. It's fucking genius. So I'm not a morning person. That's a label that you place on yourself. And so what you have now labeled in your mind is that you are not a morning person, and therefore you can never be a morning person, which is false. And also on top of that, what if one day you need to be a morning person? And so placing a label on yourself like this is a logical fallacy. And the best way to fix that is to change your sentence to what extent am I not a morning person? And so when you do that, it lets you figure out where you are and then better yourself. And so that is how you can break this scarcity mindset and operate out of abundance, which is really what I want to talk about in this video, which is the most important thing, right? Like you are successful as soon as you decide to become successful. It's not like a monetary thing. Success is not objective, it's subjective. And so figure out what the fuck it is. But if I'm not a morning person is your reason for not being successful, that's just stupid. And I've done the same thing. I've done this too, okay? This silly pants activity. All right, so how do we fix this? I've talked about it 100 times in my videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. Again, to what extent am I not a morning person? And then you figure out the attributes that you need, the character traits that you need to not be that person anymore. But here's the thing with broke people, right? Is that these guys do this all the fucking time. And it's annoying. And this is why I don't like these kind of people, because I don't like being around someone who has such a negative attitude. And I see it all the time. I'll never be able to do that. I'll never be this. I'm always going to be this way. I'm this thing. And it's frustrating. Like you don't want to be around those kind of people because they just bring down your attitude, your energy, right? Like we carry energy as humans. And so what ends up happening here is these people give their energy to you, and you don't want that. You have a bubble, especially as an entrepreneur. You should know this. Like you have work to do, and you have a life that you're trying to live, and a person that you're trying to become, and you can't become that kind of person when there's other people negging at you all the time with their negative energy. And so one thing you can do when avoiding these brokey people is that they will try to put their emotions onto you. And so when that happens, you can not accept the gift of that emotion. So someone's angry at you, you don't have to accept it. It's a gift, and they can keep it. I think that was Confucius or Buddha. That was Buddha, by the way. You don't have to keep their emotions. And so I think the biggest thing here is just to not be this kind of person. And so the best way to do that is to, again, change your beliefs, change the kind of person you are, and then attack. Like if you have a goal, like you can't be a brokey if you have a goal. If your goal is to make $1 million a month, that's something to aim at. And like if it's a serious goal that you write down and you look at every day, and you, I don't like to use the term manifest it, but sure, right? And you do the work required, you cannot be a brokey, right? But brokey activity is just negative energy. That's all it is, right? And when you want to apply it to money, it's the same way. Like it's the kind of person that's going to trip about a couple of dollars and doesn't want. Let's their emotion gets in the way. That's the main thing, right? Like let's fast forward to probably about 6 months ago. I woke up one morning and I checked my clients' Facebook ads, and then they had like 10 leads come in overnight, and I was like wiping my eyes, making sure I saw it right because I just woken up. And yes, they had 10 leads coming overnight, and they didn't call them. I didn't call them. My VAs didn't call them. My partner didn't call them. It was fucked. So I'm freaking out. I try to go call them, and or like they didn't get a text message. And I remember my CRM phone bill was down, and I went and checked my bank account, negative $570. And then I just went back to it and I figured it out. And so one of the big things that you can take here is from this is to be someone who's in abundance, you need to be resourceful, not have resources. So when that happened to me, I figured out how to get that money, fix the problem, and then call the leads back. And I ended up closing them. But if I would have sat there and cried about it and said, oh no, I don't have money on my bank account, I don't have anyone making these calls, then shit wouldn't have happened. But I still made it happen. And that's what you need to do. And that's because I was being resourceful. I didn't have resources. Resources isn't money, but I was being resourceful. And so I figured out how to get the money, how to fix the problem, and then I kept going. And so it's going to happen in life. Like there's going to be times where things fucking suck. And so the best thing for you to do is be resourceful and not have resources. So don't worry about the money. Worry about how you allocate it. And that comes with beliefs in the person that you are. And so it's kind of a short video. So if you enjoyed this content, click the like button. And also if you are a contractor or a construction company owner or a GC and you're looking to get extra jobs in your calendar every single month, click the link below. We'll have a conversation. And that's it. That's all we'll do. We'll just have a conversation. So have a good day. Don't scroll on social media because it gives brokey energy.